There is a word in your head right now. Everyone has it. It came the night the world went quiet, and you stay alive by never, ever understanding it. 14 months after the world woke knowing the word, the city had learned to be shallow. The schools were shut. Not burned, not looted, just closed. The way you close a door on a room you have decided never to enter. The libraries were dark. People still worked, still traded, still spoke. But they spoke about small things now. The weather, the price of bread. They did not ask why. They did not ask what anything meant. Wondering had become the most dangerous thing a person could do, because at the bottom of every question, patient, waiting, was the word. Everyone had it. It had arrived in the night. The same in every head. In a language no tongue had ever spoken. You could carry it your whole life and come to no harm. You only had to never understand it. The ones who understood were found the next morning. Calm. Unmarked. Gone. Mara had been a lexicographer. For 20 years, her work had been to sit with a word until she knew exactly what it meant, and then to write that meaning down in small, precise letters so that anyone at all could know it too. It was the only thing she had ever been good at. Now it was the one thing in the world she was not allowed to do. She lived at the top of a gray building with her daughter. Ren was 7. She had her father's eyes and her father's terrible, bottomless curiosity, the kind that cannot leave a thing alone, that turns every answer into 3 more questions. Before the world went quiet, Elias used to laugh about it. "She gets it from me," he would say. "God help us both." Elias had been one of the first to go. In the second week, before anyone knew the rules, he had sat very still at the kitchen table with his head tilted, the way he did when a thing was just about to make sense to him. By morning he was gone. They had found him smiling. Mara did not let herself think about the smile. She had one job now. Keep Ren from understanding. Keep a curious child from wondering. Every hour of every day for the rest of her life. Lately, Ren had gone quiet. Mara told herself that was good. She told herself the girl was finally learning to be careful. It was the stillness that gave it away. Mara knew her daughter's silences. There was the sulking silence, and the sleeping silence, and the drawing silence, where her tongue poked out the corner of her mouth. This was none of those. Ren sat with her hands in her lap and her head tilted just slightly to one side, the way Elias used to tilt his. "What are you thinking about?" Mara said. She kept her voice flat. A question, with no question left in it. Ren did not look around. Nothing. But she said it the way you say a word you are testing, turning it over, listening to it. And Mara understood, cold all the way down, that her daughter was not being careful. Her daughter was thinking, not about nothing, about the one thing there was left to think about. So she did what the world had taught them all to do. She made the space smaller. No more books. She took the reading lessons away. First, the alphabet cards, the thin, bright books with 3 words to a page. Letters made words, and words made a child want to know what they meant, and wanting to know was the thing that killed. Wren cried. Mara held her and did not give them back. No more questions. Every why met the same soft wall. Because that is how it is. Because I said so. Because love. Some things we simply do not ask. And Wren obeyed. That was the worst of it. She stopped asking out loud. But Mara caught her at it anyway. In the bath, on the stairs, at the edge of sleep, the small tilted head, the moving lips, the mind reaching for the thing it had been forbidden. Because a mind that age does not know how to stop. You cannot tell a river to stop running downhill. You can only build the walls higher and watch the water rise. Then the boy on the third floor went quiet. He was 6. His mother found him in the morning. Calm, unmarked. That same peace settled over his small face, and her screaming came up through the floors of the building for a long time before it stopped. After that, Mara barely let Wren out of her sight. No landing. No stairwell. No window left open. Long enough to think beside. She cut the world down to 2 rooms and the space between them, and she watched her daughter's face for the tilt the way other mothers watch for fever. Wren grew pale and careful and small. The wonder went out of her like a light switched off. And Mara told herself, this is what saving her looks like. This is love. A living child in a gray room is worth any bright thing I take from her. She almost believed it. It was Wren who broke first. She came to Mara one evening and climbed into her lap. And she was not crying. And she was not afraid. And that was how Mara knew this was the worst moment of her life, before the girl had said a word. Mama, I think I almost know what it means. Mara could not breathe. Don't. Wren, don't. Please. It isn't scary. I think that's why Daddy smiled. I don't think it hurts. I think you just finally understand. And then you get to go. You could understand it too. Then we could go together. We could find him, and we wouldn't have to be careful anymore. Ever. She said it the way a child offers you the best thing she has. Half her sandwich. A found feather. Meaning, I love you, so I want to give you this. And Mara, who had spent 14 months teaching her daughter that the deepest part of her was the part that would kill her, heard her own love turned inside out and handed back to her, and had no word for it at all. She said no. She said no with her whole body. She put Wren to bed, and she lay down against the door of the small room, and she stayed awake all night, guarding her child against the inside of her child's own head. The one door in the world she could not lock. She must have slept just before dawn, just for a moment. When she woke, the room was very quiet and very still. And Wren was sitting up in the gray light with her head tilted to one side. And she was smiling. The same smile. Exactly the same. The one they had found on Elias. Mara did not scream. She had always thought, in the times she had imagined this, that she would scream. But there was no horror in the room to scream at. Her daughter's face was not the face of something that had been hurt. It was open. It was finished. It was, for the first time in 14 months, entirely unafraid. The face of a child who has stopped being careful because there is finally nothing left to be careful about. And the thing Mara had refused to think for 14 months thought itself at last. They had not been dying. Not Elias. Not the boy on the 3rd floor. Not any of them. They had been let out. She had built the walls higher and higher and called it saving her. She had taken the books and the questions and the light in her daughter's face and called it love. And all that while, the thing on the other side of the wall had not been death. It had been the only open door in a locked world, and she had spent everything she had holding her child back from it. By the time the sun was full up, Wren had gone the way the others went. The small body, still and calm. The smile softening now into something merely peaceful. A child asleep. Mara sat with her. A long time. Then she got up. And she went to the window. And she looked out over the gray and careful city, where everyone she could see was doing exactly what she had done. Keeping small, keeping shallow, keeping the wall between themselves and the one true thing any of them had ever been given. She was a lexicographer. Her whole life had been the patient work of sitting with a word until it opened and gave up its meaning. There was one word left that she had never let herself sit with. It was in her head. It had been in her head for 14 months, the way it was in everyone's, waiting, patient. The last, unfinished thing. And everyone she loved was on the other side of it. She sat down at the table, in Elias's chair, in the gray morning light. She let herself be still. She let herself tilt her head, just slightly, to one side. Mara Huta. Really lightert Phil, said his film treat fime. Sena benterjegen. She self-sloyan she told her lines. Sena first tuft heat her just slightly, to one side, the way he used to, the way their daughter had. When a thing was just about to make sense, and for the first time since the world went quiet, Mara let herself wonder, what does it mean? She thought. And this time, she did not look away. So let me ask you, if understanding the truth would end your life, but it would set you free and give you back everyone you have ever lost, would you let yourself understand it? Or would you stay behind, careful and safe and alone, and never let yourself know? Tell me below. New tales every Tuesday and Friday. Subscribe so the next one finds you.